Hi everyone, a bit of a different topic today. Working on this miter saw, which I've had for over 10 years. It's a Ryobi, I think it's a 10-inch or 12-inch blade. The problem I had was that I couldn't actually get the saw to go, forward and backward as I used to be able to. As you might know, I'm gonna get a little closer now to show you. This actually, you have two rods here that the saw is actually kind of gliding over. You have these two. If you took it apart, you'll have one screw actually. So the rod's actually insert into these two holes. At the front here, you have this plate like this that is held on with just a Phillips screw. Then you have these two little cautionary washers that basically prevent dust from getting in. And on the other side, same thing, right? You'll find two. There we go. You can see a little clearer now. You'll find one little screw here, and the plate comes off. And in this particular instance, I only have one of these little cautionary thingies because the other one is no longer there. So I figured it was something to do with the ball bearings, and these are sleeve press-in bearings. And they actually operate on a track, so it's actually really cool. If you look at this, see how these actually just flow. Well, so I just cleaned them up, right? Because you have some that are all over the sleeve, and you have some at the top too. And some of those were actually just kind of caught. And if you look inside, there's some gunk and some crap. So I'm in the process of cleaning this up and restore this saw to its mighty function, because it's always been working really well. Now what's interesting is that I'm not sure whether it was a cost-cutting measure, but there's no bearings here. There's only one on this side and one on that side, obviously, that you can see, but there's one on this side, but on that column, for some odd reason, they've only put one. So on the other side there isn't any, which is really surprising. To me, it's just cost cutting, which is really not a good measure in my opinion. But so same thing here, right? Some of these are, see, they're not flowing nicely. This one is kind of dragging. There's crap in there. These are pressed in. I can't take them out. I thought I could initially because I was looking at this ring on the outside, and this does move. Obviously, it's not going to move now because I'm filming. But this ring on the outside does move. See, it's a little damage here too. I don't want to really rip this either. In fact, I believe this might come off because it's not holding really anything. No, I think it's just the rubber has gotten damaged over time. So I'm not going to touch this too much. But the idea here is to clean the tracks. So I have this cleaner here that I'm going to use. I use it for mechanic work. And I'm just going to spray and spray on the ball bearings, and make sure you go all the way around because you have some on the top here too. I'm gonna be cleaning up my the rods as well, because they did get a little bit of marking, but this is really hard steel, so that didn't get too damaged. But you want to clean up the any kind of marking that you see because of the fact that the bearings were not working properly. Make sure everything is cleaned up, and you should be good. Now, one thing to remove the back here. So this plate screws on like this, right? So it's a little jittery. So there you go, right? Goes on this, and this, but this actually doesn't go on this. It goes on the end of the tubes, right, of the gliders. So this piece is held on the end of the tube of the gliders. And one thing that you have to remember is that you have two set screws at the bottom that you will have to remove in order for this piece to come apart. And quite frankly, I had to push all the saw all the way in so that the tubes were protruding on that side of the saw, and just hammer on it with a, bang on it with a hammer in order to take these things out. And you see on the inside, there's no real, outside of the set screws, there's really nothing else that's holding these things in place. So there are a couple of ridges, but nothing really major. And on this side, you see that the set screw actually gets in this groove here, right? On both sides. So it's not a super big job, and I think it should be part of regular maintenance. So I'll let you know once it's all finished how this is going. All right, so really quick additional piece of information. You might be like, okay, well, how do you clean these things? Well, I use a little pick tool, right? And I just squeeze it in between the balls here and go back and forth. And if you look at it, you'll see there's actually quite a bit of crap at the bottom there, right? It's not really clean. And these have to be moving very free, right, on all of them. So do that on every single one of them. You have 6 in total, 3 at the bottom and 3 at the top. For some odd reasons, well, maybe not that odd, but on that end, sorry, switching hands here. The this one here is a little problematic. It's not super smooth, and the one on the other side either, but it's actually getting better. And the top is actually the top is good. It's moving free, and the other side is actually doing good too. Once you're done, so again using a degreaser or some kind of a multi-purpose cleaner for mechanics. Once you do that, you run a rag through it to absorb all the stuff, and I'm gonna use my compressor and my nozzle to just try to remove as much gunk as I can, and that should do the job, right? Once you're done with that, you're gonna have to put some grease on it, and I've got some lithium grease. I know you can't really tell that's what it is, but lithium grease here that I'm gonna put on the bearings to ensure that, so again with your finger you just rub it in and put it inside, and that should actually ensure that the bearings will be working correctly, because they have to be lubricated. So I thought I would mention that because you might be questioning how to clean the cell, and that's the way I'm doing it. All right, so I completed the cleanup of the bearings, put some lithium grease on the balls, just a little bit, don't want to put too much. And I've reassembled the saw, so I put the columns back into the bearings. And look at that. Barely any effort. It actually even travels as I'm letting go and throwing it out. You gotta know that this saw was basically, I was unable to move the arm towards the end. Like right before I actually started working on it, I was unable to move the arm. It took me a lot of effort to actually take the whole saw out of the bearings. So huge difference. Obviously it's the first time I'm doing this in like over 10 years, and it was overdue, but I'm really pleased that this is now traveling the way it is. And I can even see some deposits of grease on the columns, which is a good sign. That means that the bearings are actually moving. I will put this back on, and I got this little gasket thing that I think is part of the actual rubber washer that's on this side. I'm not sure that this is an actual gasket. I left it in because I might as well after all. So I'm just gonna push it all the way in. This was probably a little lip on the seal that was meant to prevent dust from coming in, because that's usually what the problem is that you get an accumulation of dust behind the bearings, and then dust gets in the bearings, and it's very fine dust. Over time it will get in there, and then you end up having the problem I had, right, which was that the saw wouldn't travel. So I'm just gonna put everything back together. It's very quick, right? So I got this little fabric washer thing that's sitting in the back here. I have another one here for the other side. I'm just gonna remove as much of the grease here, or the extra grease. Insert it on. Yeah, this one is actually still full of dust. You can see it, right? You can see actually the dust flying off of it. So try to actually clean this up before you put it back on, because it's in the back, right? So it's not the part that's the most exposed, but dust flies all over, so it will ultimately get there. Okay, you put it back in where it's supposed to be. Then you put the plate back on, put a screw here, screw there, 2 set screws underneath of the back here that I'm gonna hammer back on, and that's it. You're in business. So it's a very easy operation. It really didn't take me that long, probably about an hour maybe at the most, and I was filming at the same time, so not necessarily the most time effective way to do it, but if you have the proper tools, and it's a very easy operation to do. So I'm just gonna slide back on there. See how that goes, because I was kind of wondering. Probably don't need even a hammer. In fact, I might need a hammer because I need to clear the little edge in the back here. Let me show you. So yeah, see, gonna have to push it back in further. So let me actually just hammer this a little bit. So you go on both sides, top and bottom. You want this to get in there as straight as possible. I'm pretty certain I'm in right now. So once this is in, put your 2 set screws and you're good to go. Really pleased with that. It really travels nicely. Look at that. Amazing. Anyways, I hope this is helpful, and maintain your tools, right? They need love just like us, right? So keep an eye on them, and if you're finding issues with them, and if you have tools, and if you have that tool, presumably you're quite handy already, so clean them up, give them a little bit of attention, and this is gonna prolong their life by quite a bit. I hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe. Thank you.